Hello, everybody, and what show is this again?
Something like the stupid idiots talk about stupid stuff all day.
The three idiots that ramble on about random topics.
The
No,
Ramblers cast.
it is called The Past.
Present
Playback.
Thank you, thank you. And
podcast.
it's nice to be back this week.
Yeah, you were gone last
Feeling
week.
better?
Died.
You came back from the dead?
This is AI generated, Sean.
Yes,
Came
we
back from
higher budget.
talk about autopilot bots, right? I'm just the bot.
Somebody's VTubing Sean right
Um,
What a
yeah.
weird
So
thing.
how's everybody doing?
Good. A little tired, but good.
Nice.
now. Same. Boiling alive right now in my office, but the things we do for content.
Yep. So like, comment, subscribe down below, please.
Like, comment, and subscribe for me to die. But yeah.
Glad we're doing
Cool,
the
yeah.
episode. It's been a crazy week at work, just grinding, and have to go in the office every day when I'm supposed to work at home because I'm the trainer now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Codename
but
the trainer.
Yeah, the unofficial trainer. But
So they're having you do the things, but not paying you extra to do the things.
exactly.
Fun. Gotta love those corporate abuses of things.
Every corporation.
But
Yep.
I can't complain because I have a job, and
Yeah.
but
Very true.
This is cool getting together talking about this. But anyways, this week we are gonna be exploring some
Our bodies.
video games.
Ooh,
No, we've
I
never
love
talked
doing
about-
that.
We've never talked about video games. We're gonna talk about some video games that were totally hyped. Whether it be gameplay, whether it be our friends playing it before us, and then we played it and we absolutely loved it, or ones that tanked. So I know Zach has a few opposites. Doesn't have to be all games that
What
were
the
hyped that we liked and disliked, but whatever you guys have. So looking forward to it.
I don't know why every now and then the screen goes just completely gray. Really weird. And I've got a weird extra camera now for some reason.
That's okay. I'm just noticing that my
There we
webcam seems to be like doing the like, so we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Well, people, sorry, pay more attention by listening.
That's what the audio version's for.
Yes. Just listen to the audio version. Don't watch
Yeah,
me.
if you're listening to this in your car on your commute, yeah, don't watch us. Just focus on the road.
Just do the podcast, do the audio version if you're in the car.
If you're in the car and you got a Tesla, just watch.
If you're in the car, look out! Anyways,
and if one more thing before we start, if I hear thunder and the lights go out, you lose me. There is a tornado warning in my county right now. So
Yeah. I
actually,
mean, with the amount of
you're
tornado
gonna be
warnings
twisted
going
away.
on. Yeah. You're gonna be the star of the next movie.
yeah, we're looking forward to that. Actually, we might go Friday to the drive-in.
Ooh,
My wife
fun.
and I.
Fun.
Go see, yeah, Twisters.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So who wants to start?
I'll start.
Okay.
All right. So a game that I think had a good amount of hype behind it, and just absolutely failed at doing what the core premise of its predecessors were. Well, I'm going to start off with Prince of Persia, the 2008 version. Now, I feel like anybody, this game is now 2, 10, 4, 16 years old, so probably no one even knows about this game anymore.
I don't even think Ubisoft knows about that game anymore.
True. But like the original Prince of Persia was an awesome, just like puzzle.
How original are we going?
Climbing. The one on the PS2.
Okay, so the 3D one.
The 3D one.
The
yes, not
Sans.
The 2D.
The Sands of Time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which they're remaking.
Nice. But like that game was like I want to say perfect almost for me at least. Like
Mhm.
just in its like dungeon design, the climbing puzzles, the combat you had to do, like yeah, it was just really good. The cutscenes were really good for the time. The story was really good. Like, just from what I can remember. The sad thing that happened, I got the game from GameStop used, put the game into my PS2, and it froze during the opening cutscene.
Oh, damn.
There's like rain falling or something, I forget, and there's like one raindrop that's like in the center of the screen. It just stopped right there every time, so I had to go back to GameStop and get a new one. Like,
I think it was sand.
It was like no, it wasn't. The opening was like camera was like outside like a tower or something, and it was like kind of like zooming in on like the characters, but it wasn't sand. There was like rain happening. But yeah, anyways, this game, however, the 2008 version, did nothing of what the predecessor did. It was, I guess, kind of a platformer, like, mix. Like, I don't know, it was all, like, combo based. It was just, like, button, 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 and that's just, like, what you did.
Yeah.
Like, every boss fight was just a weird, like, quick, like, QTE, basically.
I mean, it was the like, QTE era, where everything was just QTEs.
But they like really handed up in that one, and it was so disappointing. It just wasn't fun.
It was just a collectathon, from what I remember.
Yeah,
you literally were just parkouring around. Not even good parkouring, honestly. It was like kind of meh. Where it's just you parkoured around. You were collecting those like orbs of light to restore the land or something like that. Yep. And then like
the darkness overtook or something.
Yeah, it just. I remember like the prince being like, I mean, the prince can be kind of cocky and arrogant in the other ones, but like,
yeah, but he was like suave and like,
this one was just kind of like, I'm a dick.
He was a dick. He was just a jerk.
Yeah,
like he wasn't. No, there was no redeeming qualities about the characters or the game, basically. And then they didn't even follow it up because they definitely left it to be followed up, and they just didn't because they knew it was just bad.
Because it didn't sell well, and I still remember. Yeah. Like, I think 100%ing that game anyway on the Xbox 360.
Well, I mean, you were a madman back in the day, and you still are a madman, but back in the day, you were
not as much. The only time I'll go to 100% a game, if it's something I feel like I can do, and I already got most of the achievements just by playing the game. But,
this close to 100% in core God of War Ragnarok. Just gotta beat that Valkyrie Queen.
Dude, that's awesome. It's awesome.
Anyways, but yeah, that's pretty much was my, like, I was real excited and I got it for Christmas too, so it's like, it's one of those games you get when you're younger where it's like, and then you play it and you're like, it sucks, and I have no one to blame but myself.
This was still at a time where, like, I mean, there were a good amount of games coming out, but, like, not as many.
That was probably one of my first big, like, disappointments from a game I was actually looking forward to, because, like when we were younger, you'd get like a game for your birthday, like when you were young, and it'd be like, Shark Tale the video game. And it's like you didn't ask for it, but someone just gave it to you.
Yeah, because they're like, you like the movie, right? Here.
Yeah, and it's like, I've never seen the movie, but sure, I'll play this, I guess. And it's not something you're like, you weren't like the whole premise of this podcast. You weren't going into it hyped. It's just a game you got. But like, this was one of the first games I like wanted and asked for. I shouldn't say first games, but like, it's one of the earlier games where I was like, I want this. I love the other ones, and then just getting it and being like, this is terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first Ninja Gaiden was good. I remember playing that at Kyle's on the original Xbox. Not Ninja Gaiden, Prince of Persia.
Yeah. I was like, Ninja Gaiden, what the hell?
I mean, arguably you could say, like, I think, 3 was kind of meh for Ninja Gaiden, but that's not what we're talking
my
about.
Understanding. Yeah, I played 2. I played the crap out of 2, but I heard, and from what I've seen, 3, it wasn't the same. But yeah, that's my first one. Who wants to go next?
I can. So I picked it's a small little game. Nobody's ever heard of it before, probably. Very probably niche. It's called Cyberpunk 2077. It like came out and it was like nobody wanted it, so they just delisted it from the PlayStation Store, stuff like that. No, so Cyberpunk 2077. I was really excited for this game, like many people. Luckily, I was going to wait for reviews anyway, so I didn't buy it day one like most people did. and I didn't have to worry about returning it or getting a refund or whatever. Um, but that game was one of those games where they were hyping the hell out of it. It looked amazing from what they were showing at first, but then I started to realize that they weren't showing anything new, and they hadn't shown anything on older generation consoles either. So this was still PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, which most people had, and the new consoles had just come out, basically. So not a lot of people had the PS5 and the Series X and S. And even on PC, this game didn't do great, and there was a lot of issues. You could tell it was rushed, and it almost, I think, ruined CD Projekt Red, just because of how bad they handled this release of this game. And I know it's not the people that worked on the game. It was the I think it was shareholders or whatever that were pushing this game to just come out because they didn't want to waste any more time and money on this, and they wanted to get it at peak hype, and COVID had just basically started and all that stuff. But they did double down on the game. They doubled down. They started fixing it. They started making it the game it was supposed to be. They spent, I don't know, 2-3 years working on the game more, and then finally it was at a point where it was really good to play and fun. And then they decided, a year ago maybe, to drop a huge update, revamping the game to basically make it the game it should have been on day one, which arguably, yes, that sucks that you had to wait basically in beta test for another 3 or 4 years before the actual game came out. But when it finally did drop that, they rebalanced the entire game. They made the textures and everything better. They redid systems in the game to make them much more fun and to play and everything like that. And overall made it the game one of the greatest games that's ever come out now. It's honestly a fantastic game, and I play with some mods on the PC, so it's even better that way. But even the vanilla version of that game is just phenomenal now, and I'm glad. God damn, this fucking gray screen bullshit. What the fuck is going on with my computer? Anyway, it takes 2 seconds to fix. It's just annoying. I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, it's a really solid, fun game. And if you were burned by it before, try and give it another shot now. It is the game that you were hyped for years ago. Definitely worth taking a look at.
Nice.
Yeah, I remember the gameplay for that was.
Even you were a little excited for it at first.
Yeah, I remember being pumped for it, and then it turned out to be trash at first.
Yeah. Definitely. I definitely recommend giving it a look now, especially if you can find it on sale. It goes on sale a lot. And then they have a DLC that's out, which is also really good. So, which also changes up the ending of the game, if you do certain things in it. Yeah, adds 2 or 3 new endings to the game.
That's pretty cool.
So I'm gonna, I guess I'm up. So I'm gonna actually go with an actual system
Oh.
that was hyped and failed.
Oh.
Okay.
So this
Curveball.
Well, this is a
Cooking.
this is a handheld that was poorly marketed. The PS Vita, PlayStation Vita, um, poorly marketed. Did not Sony did not advertise it well. It was supposed to compete with the 3DS. Great system, but the library of games is horrible because it's not their fault. Well, it is their fault, but the publication of games was limited because the sales were down. No one wanted to invest in the actual making games for the handheld because it was not marketed properly. And it's just a shame because it's a great console, and I'm into handhelds recently. My jailbroken PSP, I play a lot. Again, my jailbroken 3DS, I play a lot. 3DS XL, the original 3DS XL, I play a lot. Um, so it's just a shame because it's a console that I want to get possibly, but I'm in no rush to buy it because even on eBay, why spend a couple hundred or $100, and it's just the library of games is not. There's a few decent games, but it's not. It's just unfortunate they could not capitalize on that handheld because it came out with an OLED screen, actually two thumbsticks on the handheld. It was ahead of its time, but it's just
Also had a touchpad.
yeah on the back. Yes. Yep.
I got mine still,
Yeah. Also,
and Mary has one.
I'll let you finish your thing there, but I'm gonna counter argument that.
Eventually,
Objection!
Objection.
I'm not saying it's a bad console. I'm just saying it was hyped up and it failed at the time. Now you can today you can buy one and you can jailbreak it and it's worth it. But
I mean, it's even worth it before you jailbreak it. In my counter argument.
Yeah. Well, I'm in no rush to buy it because I just need to. I have the PSP jailbroken and I have the 3DS jailbroken, but I'm gonna eventually, if I find a deal, I might pick one up. But wasn't there one at your birthday at One Up Games?
Probably.
Yeah, I think they had one with some games.
Probably.
Yeah.
I think it was like red or something.
Yeah, the 2000 was red. I was reading up on them. Yeah, the 2000 was the LCD screen. The second
Yeah,
model
which
came
made it a
out.
little
The
cheaper
original-
and
the
more
original was the
less prone to break.
Yeah, and the original one, the 1000 model was the OLED, which
Yeah,
is
that's
a
one
little
I've got.
heavier, a little heavier, but I mean, I would love to run up and play like you could play like Uncharted, you can play um, Killzone was good, especially a handheld before the Switch. They had the two thumbsticks.
Yeah, so counter argument there. Yeah, so Sony didn't market it very well, and they also had a really bad idea to make a proprietary memory card for it that was costing you an arm and a leg.
Oh my god.
So those were the negatives. However, I counter argue that there was like no games. That console has so many games, especially if you're an RPG fan. That thing is an RPG machine. There's like thousands and thousands of RPGs that came out for that console. And on top of that, there was the ability to play a lot of PlayStation 3 games on there. You could do remote play on your PS4. So while you're taking a dumply do, you could be playing some like Dark Souls or whatever from the PlayStation 4 or 3 on it. You could play Jack and Daxter. You could play Jack 2 and Jack 3. So right there, it's already an amazing console. Persona 4 Golden came out on that thing. Amazing RPG. There was some Gundam game that I imported. That was a lot of fun. I didn't know what was going on, but it was fun to play. So yeah, arguably, I would say yes, Sony didn't handle it well, but there was a lot of support for it, and I always see a lot of people always highly regarding that system.
Yeah, good argument. I definitely need to pick one up. When I can find
I
it,
mean,
right?
you don't if you're not an RPG fan, so you may not be as into it, but you could also play like the entire PSP library. Granted, it was digital version of it, but they were all there.
Yeah, and the fact that you have the second thumbstick is huge because some PSP games you can actually remap the controls to actually utilize the second thumbstick, and yeah, the library. I mean,
That was your L3 and R3 for some games too, because there was no push-in thumbsticks.
yeah, I might try to pick one up. I just need to find. And if you jailbreak it, you can.
You can play all sorts of stuff on it.
Yeah, PS1, PSP,
Super Nintendo,
yeah,
NES, all
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really into jailbreaking my old handhelds right now, but I just don't know if I want to.
Yeah, I can tell every time you bring up a handheld, it's followed by the word jailbroken.
Yeah, it's fun to actually.
No, it sounds fun.
It when like you feel a sense of achievement. Like I hacked this thing.
I did it. I'm in.
Take
I'm
that,
in.
Nintendo.
Hacker Man.
I'm in. I like it. um, yeah, but enough rambling on. I'll keep an eye out on Goodwill or eBay, but it's just have so much stuff
It's
to play.
tough to
Can't keep
actually
buying.
get because
Yeah, yeah.
there just wasn't a lot of units out there.
You can get a lot from Japan.
Yeah, and then you could easily jailbreak that if you need to. But I think it was region free, so
Yeah.
they had more color options too, which was kind of cool. Japan always gets the better
Okay.
options of things.
So I can get one from Japan and region free, and then obviously you can still.
Yeah, next time Nelson goes on a vacation in like 6 months, probably there. Just let him know.
True. But if it's dumb question, can you still play like if it's region free? Can you change the language and everything? Yeah, because every
Yeah,
console lets you.
because it's
change
region
the
free,
language.
so you can pick
Yeah.
any region. You could
Yeah,
you could play it in Arabic if you want.
True.
Zach's dying. Give him his next.
Yeah.
All right, me. Next one. One that I was extremely hyped for because I was really itching to play a JRPG. And it's from a franchise that I love.
Final Fantasy?
One Piece Odyssey. No. I enjoyed that game.
13?
This game, however. 13? No. No, nobody played 13 except for you, Kyle.
Nobody. Literally nobody but me.
No, what 13 did was put out the hardest video game trailer ever for a game.
Yeah, yes, I know. You and Nelson love that trailer so much.
Love that trailer
so much. To this day, I cannot get away from it.
No,
I cannot get away from that trailer.
We still quote that trailer 15 years later. Final Fantasy 13 years later. Anyways, it's the only good thing that game did. Anyways, no, this was One Piece Odyssey. Came out beginning of this year, and or was it beginning of last year?
I think it was a little. I think it was over a year ago now because I remember talking about it with a coworker.
Yeah, no, yeah, it was
of
definitely
mine.
It was last year. It was last year. It came out beginning of last year. And it has taken me this long to try to I shouldn't say try to beat it. It's will myself to play it.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the most bare bones JRPG in existence. Like it's basically just like your kid's starter JRPG. Like it's like, yeah, it's characters, they have their 4 sets of moves. That's it. Like there's just no fun, there's no soul in the game. Like you go into a JRPG, you're expecting like, grind to get like cool weapon, like, that's gonna have like cool stats for your character, or like, some fun like alt costumes for the characters. Especially One Piece, where like there's a billion different costumes for the characters.
Yeah,
every other
like
chapter
draws
has a
new
color
freaking cover, like every time.
Color spread comes out and everyone's in the wildest looking clothes, like all the movie, like there's so many different costumes you can put these characters in. They gave you one set of alternate costumes, and it was the pre-time skip costumes from Ennie's Lobby. And that's not even Ennie's Lobby. No, it was just their basic stuff. Some people had Ennie's Lobby stuff, but like it's just there was nothing. Like the gameplay was bland. Like they literally were even just like, we're gonna give you a like 3 times speed like adjuster while you're doing like battles, so it just goes faster. It's just
wow.
I don't know if other JRPGs do that, but like it's just literally hitting the fast forward button on the controller, just like to just get through things faster. So it's just so boring, and the story is boring. It's just awful. And you expect something like bombastic from One Piece. Like, it's high energy. Like, I feel like probably Dynasty Warriors style game is like the best thing you can do for One Piece, because it just lets you go crazy. But like a JRPG, you'd think like, oh, they can really put in a lot of time and like effort into like the moves and stuff, and they don't look bad, but it's just stale and boring.
It's not bad. It's just blah.
No, I mean it's bad because like there's nothing fun about it. Like I guess like technically, like, yeah, no, it's smooth in the sense that like are not glitching or buggy or long load screens or anything like that. Like the game's easy enough. It's just there's just no grit to it. It's just so just a cookie cutter like JRPG. It's like really just disappointing.
Do you think if you threw it in the water, it would sink to the bottom of the ocean?
Even if I had a doubt, I'd tie a rock to it regardless. Make
Hey,
sure
I got
it
you
goes
some new
down.
shoes.
But yeah, it's just real disappointing.
That's disappointing because I was gonna pick it up whenever it was on sale. And
I mean, if you can get it for like $3, sure, man. There's no reason not to get it at that point. But like,
it's okay. I got a big enough
anything-
library. I don't need to.
yeah, I was gonna say.
I don't.
Like,
I don't
there's
need it.
they actually did have a One Piece World Seeker up for I think it was like $4 or something like that in the PlayStation Store. And I did
Wow.
grab that because at least that's
That was
like,
the one where it was like open world-ish.
yeah, like it had like a sandbox element to it where like you go around a town and then you go to areas where you like you fight bosses and whatnot. Like that one actually looks fun. Like
I hope
they did
so.
some cool stuff where it's like you mostly just play as Luffy in it, but they I think they added DLCs where you can play as Zoro and Law and maybe someone else. And like for Zoro, they they messed with the mini map. So like it's opposite or whatever. So it's because Zoro's bad with directions.
yeah.
Like those are little things they put in the game to make it like good and fun. Like that does sound annoying that the map's all messed up, but at the same time, the character has a bad sense of direction. So like it works. It's an in-game reason to do that, and it's kind of fun. Nothing like that exists in the One Piece game. Nothing. You just run through the same like 8 maps, and there's just nothing. It's actually annoying how often you have to backtrack and how like little the maps are to where you'd actually have to go into another load screen before you go into the next one. So actually, yeah, this game is awful, and I'm just so disappointed by it. But I'm gonna beat it one day.
Someday, eventually.
Fight.
Do you think it would be better?
You're still interested though in the game.
Yeah.
It's a spiteful interest.
He just wants to beat it because he bought it and he spent money on it.
That's exactly it. I don't
Zach,
want my money to.
I want you to know it's okay to not finish a game.
No, it's not.
It's
just like growing up where they said
okay.
you have to finish all the food on your plate, even if you're full. I have to finish the
No,
food on my plate.
it's okay.
Even though I'm full.
Don't force yourself to hate a game that you hate more.
Can't have dessert until you.
I'm at the end. I'm at the end, Kyle. I'm literally have to go through like 2 levels of a thing, and I'm like gonna fight the final boss, and I'm done. Like I'm done. I just need to do it.
Do you think it would be a better game if like you were able to do more exploring of like the One Piece universe, go to different islands and stuff like that?
So that's how they get you too. They do the thing that they do in every One Piece game where they go, "Oh, you're gonna like go through your memory or some bull crap." So it's like you can just go to all the different places. Like if they gave me a game where it's like they made new islands and maybe some old ones in there for you to just like different, almost like I think you're gonna talk about it actually, so I don't want to spoil it. But like those games that like generate planets and stuff.
No.
Like,
I mean, it was in my list, but it's not one of the ones I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
So you can
So
talk
like that, like
about it.
like No Man's Sky or whatever,
Yeah.
where it's like you're just on the ocean and it just generates islands, it generates creatures and whatnot, and like there's like treasure and like factions on the islands and stuff, and you're just sailing as like the Straw Hat Crew. That'd be cool. Even if it was crappy, that would be cool. Like, it would be fun to just do. Just turn your brain off, sail around, do stuff, do gum punch, you have all the 10 characters you can play as, and that would be fun. Better than this piece of crap. Anyways, this is my time.
Thank you for coming to Zach's TED Talk about One Piece World Seeker or whatever it was. And, yeah. So, I'll go with...
Good. Odyssey.
That's it, Odyssey. I think I will talk about something that was when it was first coming out, people looked at it and went, man, that's going to be another crappy game. Disappointing. but ended up becoming one of the best FPSs that's come out in recent years. That'll be
All right.
Doom 2016. So this game, like every time they showed it, it just looked boring. It did not look fun.
Mm-hmm.
They did really bad job at showing it off. And then it came out, and the day it came out, I saw a Let's Play of it and went, wow, this is not the game they showed. This game looks awesome. I need to play this.
This game
And
fucks.
I went out, I bought it that day, went home, I played it, and that game does fucks. That game fucks hard. It was such a good game. Like, if you have not played Doom 2016, you do yourself a favor and play it. It's got a bunch of different difficulties, so you can get through it pretty fairly easily. Or you can go after you've beaten it, go into like the hardest difficulty where you have one life, and if you die, you start all the way at the beginning of the game again. It was awesome. It was so awesome. I literally learned the speedrun for that game at one point and was doing it not great, but I still had managed it. So I played it on Xbox first. I played it on Xbox One, and then I replayed it on the PC because I loved it that much. And then the sequel came out, and I played that one a lot too. But I think Doom 2016 is a little bit. Personally, I think it's better than Eternal, although Eternal is also really freaking good. Soundtrack, can't say enough about that soundtrack. Mick Gordon, so good, did such a good job.
The soundtrack and it slaps.
It's so fucking awesome, and it's so sad what happened to him with id Software when they like basically just told him to fuck off for the next game.
That's annoying.
Yeah, I mean the soundtrack in the second one still slaps, but it's just not the same. And then there's gonna be a new one coming out soon. Doom to Dark Age coming out, I think this year or next year, something like that. So
Doom to Dark Age? You mean our current timeline?
Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, they have the Doom guy go into the past, and now he's fighting with like medieval weapons, sort of.
Oh, that's sick.
Like, it's not totally medieval because he's still got like all these guns, but they're like kind of medieval-y looking. It's weird, but it looks fun.
That's
but yeah,
cool.
Doom 2016. Haven't played it? Play it.
Play again. Nice. Shawnee?
Next up for me, I might get kicked out of the podcast. I might get voted off the island for this one. Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Yep, get out of here.
So in my opinion,
This call's over.
In my opinion, after coming in response to after coming from I can't talk tonight.
Post not clarity.
It's been a long week, guys. After
it's
Zelda,
Tuesday, Sean.
yeah, that's exactly my point.
It's been a long week.
Exactly my point.
Damn.
Yeah. In response to Ocarina of Time, that game was just, in my opinion, just not the same. I hated the stupid clocks and the day and night, and you're on a time limit. Like the whole point of the whole thing I loved about the whole reason I loved Ocarina of Time was the no time limit. You just go wander around Hyrule, do your dungeons. Then Ocarina of Time. Then Majora's Mask comes out. And it's like stupid clocks, and I need to replay it, and because I do have it for 3DS.
So you have the bad version. That's the worst version of the game.
Yeah.
Which version's the worst version?
The 3DS version, yeah. Because they changed up so much stuff in it, I guess, like stupid shit.
It's kind of cool. Like I don't want to rip on it too bad. Like the whole mask and the whole I don't know. I need to replay it and see how I feel, and I'll let you guys know. But just at the time, it was.
I feel like I need an objection button for this fucking episode. Finish your thought. I got another counter argument.
Counter.
At the time, it was just not what I wanted out of a Zelda game. Personally, it was, in my opinion, it was just, the whole. I don't I need to replay it because it was a while ago. But go ahead, Kyle.
Counter argument. Sean, what's your favorite genre of movies?
Oh, horror.
Okay, what do you think that game is, huh? You got a moon with a very scary face coming in. You got the clock of terror counting down those 3 days before everybody dies. You got a kid who puts on a mask and you see him scream in pain and agony as his body is transformed into another creature. And you don't like it. Yeah, Ben 10. Going! Whatever. I don't remember how it goes.
It's hero time.
That's it. Sure.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I hate the game. I'm just saying it's not compared to Ocarina of Time.
It's better.
No. No way.
Oh, is that a for real statement? Is it better, Kyle, in your opinion?
I like Majora's Mask more. I owned Majora's Mask. I did not own Ocarina of Time when I was a kid. So Majora's Mask, it fit that wanting to collect everything, because if you collect all the 50 masks, I think it is in the game, at the end of the game you got the deity mask, and that made you beat the boss in like 2 freaking hits. It was like a great reward for finding everything, collecting everything. The whole idea of the 3 days, it adds a lot more like urgency to do things, and some of that stuff, yeah, there is things that kind of suck about it. If you screw up at one part of the sequence because you weren't paying attention or you didn't know where to go or something like that, then you have to start at the beginning again because there's no way to salvage it. That part can be annoying. But I think its area design was better. I think its dungeon design was better for the most part. Arguably, the last dungeon wasn't that great because it was really confusing. The water dungeon in that one wasn't as bad. Although
wasn't Nelson on the water temple for like 8 years in one of the 3DS games?
Maybe. I don't know. They fixed the water temples for the 3DS versions of those games.
Oh, okay.
They made them like easier to figure out where the heck you were. It's because like the textures were just really bad, so you couldn't tell like which way the arrows were pointing in them. But I have a pretty decent, good sense of direction, so I didn't get as lost as some other people might have. Yeah, that's why Zoro's your favorite character. Anyway.
Not even a dig.
I'll have to replay it.
But no, I mean, you know, you don't like it, you don't like it. I mean, there are plenty of people who don't like it. The Angry Video Game Nerd did a whole episode on it and how much he didn't actually like it in comparison to Ocarina of Time.
I'll say, from someone who hasn't played either of them.
But you're married to somebody who has played both of them.
I am married to both of them. However, my own opinion on just like the thought of the game is like, I don't think I would be a huge fan either of Majora's Mask, in the sense that like I don't like that I have to reset constantly and that it's more difficult to try to do as much as you can in one run, as opposed to like, you know, just being able to try to do everything.
And yes, one of the worst parts is you lose all those like temporary items, including like rupees, unless you put them into the bank. So that stuff was annoying. However, there was warping in that game, so there was that also for it, where you could warp around the map a lot easier.
That's fair. But yeah, that's what I would probably say for me is like, yeah, I understand the frustration of just being like, I played this other game that was exactly what I wanted, and then it's the Prince of Persia fallacy.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You had the first one that was like perfect for you, and then the next one changed way too much.
Yes. Exactly.
Also, they made it in 6 months. Like,
did they reuse
crazy.
a lot of assets from the first one?
Basically, yes. So that was the idea. Ocarina of Time did phenomenal. It sold better than they thought it was going to sell. And basically they just went, cool, you got 6 months to make a sequel. Because we got to get it out for Christmas. Yeah, they're like, we got to get it out for Christmas. You got like 6 months. So they just asset flipped a lot and whatnot.
1998, right?
I don't know, something like that.
Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, it's not my favorite of them all for Zelda games, but it's up there.
Nice.
Any counter arguments, Sean?
I'll have to replay it. I mean, like I said, I don't hate the game. I just compared to exactly what Zach said. I compared
He
to
just hates the player.
He hates me.
Ugh.
Alright, Zach, I think it's you.
All right, back to me. All right, I'm torn. I'm naked, lying on the floor, torn. What do I want to talk about next? One that I was super hyped about it and then was extremely disappointed by. That kind of killed the franchise. Let's talk about that. Halo 4 and by extension very much 5. So coming off of Halo Reach
Yep.
and ODST, ones that kind of took what Halo was and took it to that next level with just like enough new gimmick to make it fun and interesting and go keep it fun and interesting. Halo 4 and 5 freaking nosedived into hell with it. They gave Master Chief way too much of an overhaul in design that was just terrible. They took away how everything felt in the other games, like as far as like, you know, when you're shooting, reloading, just the general aesthetic of everything. They just kind of like they stripped it away. Like you go into a game that you love and it's a sequel and you're like, ah, yes, it's the thing that like, you know, Gears of War, you do the quick reload, like you know what you're doing, you're pretty much in there, but you got a couple new tweaks to gameplay. You go into Halo 4 and 5 and you're like, this is a foreign entity. I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Nothing feels right anymore. It was just, and like they kind of just throw you into this random story as well of like Cortana just going rampant and whatnot, and you're like, where did this come from? Like, why did we like decide to do this?
Halo 3. Replay it.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough then. That's on me. I rescind. That was me being ill-informed.
There's a whole part in 3 near the end where the hive mind of the Flood and like Cortana, because they like kidnapped her, are like combining. So that's why she's going like crazy and rampant. But yeah.
Oh, fair enough then. Fair enough then.
But it's, I mean, it wasn't handled well.
But but yeah, it just the game itself for 4 was just, it was all right. They had the new enemies. The story kind of just like ended. Like I don't know, the boss fight was really lackluster. You fight that one Promethean dude in the weird floaty whatever. I don't even remember too well, but I just remember being like, he's dead, I guess. Like like is there another part? And then it was just sort of over. And then 5.
I didn't even finish 5.
Just I legendary soloed 5 because I really thought I was him, and I was because I beat it. But it was the most frustrating, unbalanced garbage for gameplay. Like it just.
I hated the like pseudo Spartan people too so much. That other team.
The other team. The switching back and forth wasn't that fun. Like there really wasn't even anything like added to the game to differentiate it very much from 4, make it feel like the other ones. Like it just felt like you were playing what the rest of 4 should have been almost. Like, but even then, it like. I don't know, man. Just playing it was a chore. It was the One Piece Odyssey of Halo. It was just a chore.
Yeah, I couldn't finish it. I was getting so bored.
There was one level where you're like in this field and you're fighting like 3 dudes, and there's barely any cover. You've got like the like you basically had to get everything down to like a science. Like
talking about like the Promethean like boss dudes.
Yeah,
those things were so annoying. They're just bullet sponges for being bullet sponges.
Exactly, and that's exactly what. Oh yeah, and there was no like really extra ammo for you either. So it's like when you ran out, you were fucked. And boy, howdy, did you run out? Because they were, like you said, bullet sponges. But yeah, that was probably the hardest part of the game itself, and then it kind of just was like whatever after that. I don't think I really had a problem after that middle part, which was also a weird balance issue where like the middle of the game was the hardest part of the game, and the rest was just you walked around most of the time. it was just weird. But overall, it was just something where it's like they had 2 extra games after the essentially 4.5 that came out that were like universally beloved. I say half because ODST is like barely DLC. But
I love ODST though. It's such a
I
fun
do too. That's
change.
why it's yeah. I love it. I don't have a problem with ODST. I'm just saying I don't count it as a full game. Like it's like a 0.5 that you just kind of like plop in there.
Yeah.
Which is fine. It's still awesome. It's like that Dead Rising like little like smaller game they have where you're in that like really small like
yeah.
town or whatever the hell it was. Like that's not like a Dead Rising game. That's just like a weird little like
the prequel to 2. I think it was.
Yeah. I played the crap out of that.
It was so good,
so
dude. Dead Rising is like such a good series for most of them. I heard the last one wasn't good, but
Dead Rising was good.
The one that was there one that came out after the one on Xbox One?
yeah, there was another one on the Xbox One. It went back to Frank Walker from the first one, but I guess it just wasn't like good, and it like dropped out of nowhere. Nobody knew it came out really, and just disappeared from the face of the earth. I think they're remaking the first one. Yeah.
Or I said, I mean the first one. I mean the one that came out on Xbox One.
Yeah, because it had the 4-player co-op or whatever.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Yeah, it wasn't a great game, but it was a fun.
No, absolutely not. So that would be one that could go on this list where it was like, it was not like universally good, but like we enjoyed the crap out of it.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's mostly what I gotta say. It's just like 343, just kind of like on those games.
Halo 5 was horrible, and same. I agree. But Halo 4 multiplayer, I had fun with. Like the classes they introduced it was alright.
5 multiplayer apparently got really good along after a while too. Apparently they really worked on it. Like they took it to heart when people were complaining about it at first and just saying like all these different things. So they took a long time to fix it and make it good. I will give them that. 343, they don't release a good game, but they'll work on it till it is a good game.
That's fair.
Because they did the same thing. Halo Infinite apparently is also really good now.
I've heard good things about Infinite.
It's not bad. Halo. Yeah.
And then the story apparently was really good too. So I do have to play Infinite eventually, but I just haven't had the desire to play Halo.
That game is at the end of its life cycle, and they're still giving it attention.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when they're gonna work on the next Halo game, or how long that's gonna take, and how many billions of dollars this time. But
it really comes to the fact, like, hey, when is enough? I guess when it stops making money.
True, which is probably never.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess it's me now, huh?
I'm good.
Counter argument.
I'm like, I know. I was gonna say, like, I was confused. I'm like, wait, didn't Kyle just go? I was like, no, he counter argumented Sean.
Counter argument. Halo 4 was okay. That's all I gotta say.
You weren't voted off the island. You're good.
You're fine. Counter argument. We can replace Sean with Nelson. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
damn.
I'm kidding, Sean. I'm kidding.
Because the thought crossed Zach's text like, damn, I'm looking at it.
I said, damn, I spit. I was like, damn.
It's nice.
I went, damn.
Thanks. Nice
No.
Nice to feel wanted.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Kyle came for your neck like that.
Okay. So I'm going to pick a game in a series. This series is a series that hasn't had a game in a while now, and there's rumors that they're making like a remake of it or something. Maybe it's been confirmed. But one of the Splinter Cell games is really not good, and that is Splinter Cell Double Agent. It was the first one to come out on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, and it was like toting all this, like, it looked amazing for that time. It's great, another Splinter Cell game. You know, the last one was one of the best, Chaos Theory, so only this could get better, and it only was worse. Just everything about it was not good, for the most part. Like, the story, trash. They killed off some of the best characters in it right away, so you don't even get any fun time, like, to enjoy them or anything like that. It was not good. They didn't handle a lot of stuff great. They just, like, took everything from that was worked in Chaos Theory and ruined it. the multiplayer that they put into it was trash compared to how they did in Chaos Theory. It was just they didn't do what they should have done, which was just give it more time and maybe scrap the whole idea and start over. And then they proceeded to make 2 other decent games after that spinned off of that and did some other weird choices. But Michael Ironside as Sam Fisher, that guy, when he dies, it's gonna be really fucking sad. Because he's getting up there in age, because he was already pretty old.
True.
But he's one of those people. It's just like what they did with like Metal Gear, where they just changed the voice actor. They did that at one point for the newer Splinter Cells. I think they went back to Michael Ironside for the last one that had come out, but yeah, just Splinter Cell Double Agent was just a double letdown.
Oh, nice. Got him right at the end there.
Yeah. Anybody counter arguments for me? No?
No, I've never played a single one of those games.
I think you'd like maybe not the first one. The first one's very clunky. But unless the remake's good. Yeah, 2 or 3. Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory, those were really good. The newer ones were good too. It's just they added some weird mechanic to it called Mark and Execute, which is basically just press a button and kill everything in the room.
Oh, okay.
Or if you play that new X-Defiant game, you can use that class from Splinter Cell.
Yeah, my coworker was talking about that game today.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like playing old Call of Duty. I love it. I'm like, it's okay. It's like playing Overwatch. I don't love it.
Yeah, it's all right. I haven't played it in a while since we played. Honestly, I've been mainly playing my handhelds and Madden.
Yeah, I've just been playing Elden Ring. But I think Sean, it's your turn, boy.
Yeah, Shawnee's turn.
Next up, we got.
Give us, I think your last one, right? Or is this your third?
Yeah, my last one. So
no, this should be his third. I started.
Yeah.
I think it was my last.
Well, you only talked about 2 things, so.
Oh, I'm sorry. I do have another. I can talk about another. I was looking down. I was looking at my list.
Rack, he was looking down.
So next up is PSP version of Little Big Planet. This one is a game that I
okay.
No.
I was not expecting any of this.
No.
I love how Sean was like, "Here's my list." No. Plot twist. None of that.
No. Yeah, because I actually.
I mean, I love it. It's just it's funny.
These on the spot. So this is actually opposite. Not one that I hate. It's one that I came across that turned out to be awesome because I never gave these Little Big Planet games a chance because I was never a Sony. I was never a Sony kid. I started out with NES, then N64, then I did have a PSP. Then I had PS2, but after PS2, I was all Xbox. So it was really never really got into the PS3, PS4 era of Little Big Planet, and then since I hacked my PSP, I was playing it recently, and I just loved it. Game that you can just relax. Love the levels. You can actually make your own levels, but I just love the just relaxing, cozy game that you can just turn your brain off to. But I don't want to rebel on, but that's one that I came across that I love, that I was never a fan of before, because I remember Kyle telling me and a few other friends telling me, you got to try Little Big Planet. It's awesome. Sackhead.
Kyle's. Yeah. What's up?
What?
Oh, Sackhead. Okay. I thought you said Zach, not Sackhead.
No,
I was going to say Kyle was a huge Little Big Planet guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the first one. And I think I
remember going to your house, you
were
playing the crap out of that thing.
It was a fun game. It was fun stuff.
Another one that I never gave a chance that I love now is the Loco Roco games. Same type of relaxing, cozy game. You can just go through a level without stressing. You just kind of, turn your brain off. I love those games sometimes. Just turn your brain off and play it before bed.
Would you guys say that the little robot guy for PS5 is a spiritual successor to Sackboy?
Yes. I was thinking that. I was thinking about that because that
from the demo that Astrobot.
Yeah.
So technically, he was made for the VR first. He had a game for the PSVR one.
I'm just saying, like in general, like the On Xbox?
Huh? No, Astrobot's like Playroom or something like that.
Astrobots. Yeah. So I'm just saying, like in general, like just the character itself and just like the way the thing was. Like, do you think it's a spiritual successor?
Do I think it's a spiritual successor?
I do.
Kind of. I mean, the thing is, the thing that's annoying about Sony, not to get too much off on a tangent here, they constantly change the face of like what's their mascot.
Mm.
They never pick something that's more permanent. They're just like, it was Crash Bandicoot, and then it was like Spyro, and then it was like God of War's Kratos was the face, and it was the Ellie and Joel from The Last of Us, and now it's Astro, and like it's just sad because in a way they're just moving on. I know it's like, yeah, so they got to move on. You got to keep making new stuff, obviously, and whatnot. But it's just also sad because they're just kind of like, this isn't like the thing that's selling our consoles anymore. So let's just forget about our past and move on to the next big thing.
Yeah, I agree, but I think it is a creation of that, a variation, I should say, of that second. I think
That's the team I think that ended up making that Dreams game, the one where you could basically just make a video game that was really popular. I think it was them that made that. But they don't want to make another Little Big Planet, mainly because it's so much work to make those games. Because they're actually like insanely like difficult to make. Especially because the first one had like an engine editor thing in it, and you could literally make other games. I remember people making like Legend of Zelda out of Sackboy game. A top-down Legend of Zelda game out of a 2D side-scrolling game somehow. Like,
that's crazy.
It's wild.
That's alien.
The last thing I'll say about about that game, Little Big Planet, I was waiting for my dog to get groomed on Sunday, waiting in my car with the AC on, just playing my PSP and having fun with Little Big Planet. I had to wait like a half hour or so, kill some time.
Nice.
But yeah, who's
next?
Yeah,
dude. Now we go to Kyle.
What?
Your turn.
Me again? I just did Splinter Cell.
Oh, it's me then.
Oh,
yeah.
It's you, yeah.
Zach, give us your last one, boy.
All right, I'm gonna do. So I've done a bunch that I was negative about. I'm ending on a little bit of positivity, and I'm the silent minority in this.
Oh God.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Oh, okay.
People, I think this is like infamously like known as like the worst Mass Effect game. And honestly, I enjoyed every second of playing it. I really did. It was fun. Characters were fun. I'm not gonna say they were memorable because I couldn't tell you a single thing about any of them right now. But when I was playing,
I was about to hit you with, what's the name of any character in that game?
Couldn't tell you. Could not tell you. But like when I was playing it, I also still didn't know what their names were, but I enjoyed what I was doing. It was definitely,
kids, that's the sign of a good game. If you can't remember a single character.
Hey, listen. I didn't say it was a good game. I said I enjoyed myself while I was playing it.
Remember, you don't have to remember their name to enjoy what you're doing with them.
I'm not going to say that. I think people, not me, but I think people could have. I think people do live by that notion. In a multitude of different scenarios in life. But not me. But yeah, it was fun. I think I don't think it evolved anything from the other games, but I don't think that's a bad thing because I don't think it deviated enough from the other games to make it worse. I would say I think I probably liked it more than Mass Effect 3 as far as like keeping me interested in the overall game. Mass Effect 3, I was super interested in where all the character stories were going that I cared about from the other two games. But overall, the story itself for Mass Effect 3, I couldn't care less about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was excited and optimistic about where Andromeda could go if they like when I thought they were continuing it, and then was sad they didn't because I think it had the chance to be really good, and it just got uh, smothered in the crib.
Sean, did you open up like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction or something? Sorry to interrupt you, Zach. I was just like, what the hell
No, it's
happened?
okay. I saw it. Oh, that's what happens when you're in your dark room and you turn on any other source of light, no matter how dim you think it's gonna be. It's just gonna be like, whang,
Yep.
and like a spotlight's on your face. Like I have my phone like when I can check it like as almost low as it can go because if it's like as bright as it can go,
Yeah.
You see the AI in my eyes. Can't you? The glare. They're taking over. Take me to your leader.
But yeah, overall, I think that for how bad people say it is, I definitely enjoyed it way more than I think people thought was possible. Like
I don't think a
I
lot of
like
people made it very far anyway because they just all focused on the fact that the animations were really bad and just gave up.
I don't even think they were that bad. Like
They're just
I
very
don't know.
stiff animations.
I think I was just excited to be playing another Mass Effect game
Mm-hmm.
that like I overlooked the fact that maybe it could be bad. And who knows? Maybe if I go back and play it now, I wouldn't enjoy myself. I'm never gonna do that. I'm
they
gonna keep it in
announced
the mind palace where I liked it.
they did announce they're working on another one like 5 years ago.
Yeah, no, they did. I remember that.
I have a
excited for
feeling
whenever that
we'll
comes
hear
out,
more
too.
about it after the new Dragon Age game comes out first.
Oh, I didn't even know there was a new Dragon Age.
Yeah, it looks kind of meh. It's very they're going like goofy cartooniness with it now. But yeah. I remember playing it a little bit. I didn't get very far. I think I did like the first planet, and then I kind of gave up. Just
fair.
I don't think it was as enjoyable. I wasn't getting encroached in the story fast enough. The first one, like, bam, right into the story, real good, real good stuff, like
Well, see,
mystery and whatnot. More of a slow burn.
Trying to remember if it really sucked me in. No, it didn't. Because originally I tried playing Mass Effect, gave up, didn't enjoy. Then I think I was watching you play 2, and I was like, I'm gonna give this another try.
2, goated.
And 2, one of the best games on earth. And then I went back and played 1 fully, and I was like, okay, I enjoyed this. This is good. And then I started playing 2, and I was like, oh my god, everything that was terrible is great now. And then 3 was just like, yeah, it's no 2, better than 1.
It played great. It just the story was kind of meh.
It was smooth. Like they improved on gameplay. It's just that the overarching story. It's hard to conclude a big story.
It is. Endings are hard in general. It's hard to please everybody, let alone some of the people. But
and it's crazy that they gave you like 3 options and they were all bad.
They all were the same basic ending, and it just kind of sucked because like the thing about that 3. I know that's not what we're talking about mostly, but the thing about 3 that really sucked that I feel about it was that it just made the other 2 games and all your decisions just not matter. Nothing mattered,
no,
really.
Absolutely. Nothing mattered. Yeah. There's nothing worse than playing a game all about choices and then making all of your choices pointless.
Yes. Like, I remember when I was first playing it and I was like, wow, this game is great. Like, all these choices that they're talking about that I had made in the first 2 are coming back. That's awesome. I remember like a spider creature thing that I released in the first game, and all of a sudden in the third game, you're meeting it again, and you're seeing it had like babies and repopulated. I was like, oh, that's so cool. That is such a cool thing. Like, how different could this have been if I had chosen to wipe out this race? Like, things like that. And
yeah, true.
And then, the ending happens, and you're just like, all right, everything just resets. Shepard's dead. Cool. Whatever.
I think that's what I was really excited about with Andromeda. That I was in the time thinking that like, oh, this is the first of a new trilogy, probably.
Which
so,
it
like,
would have been probably if it did better.
But like I was, and so like the things that were happening in it, I'm like, I'm excited to see where these things go, how they evolve, how they get better. And then we
they whiffed it.
It's sad. They They biffed it. It was bad. Anyways, I liked it. And
That's good.
that's awesome.
Somebody has to like it.
I need to play those on Game Pass.
Yeah, the
I've got
first
the remaster.
the first 3 were like remastered or whatever, and into like a legendary collection or something like that. It's cool. You can play them all back to back, type of thing. So
right.
no counter argument to that.
Excellent, good. Shiny boy.
Okay.
Skipping over me. Okay.
Time to.
Oh, never mind. Kyle
Zach
Boy.
knows
I keep
nothing
forgetting.
about this order.
Listen, the reason why I don't know anything about the order, Kyle, is because you go 4 times because you have counterpoints for everybody.
Because I played all these games.
Kyle voted off the island instead of Sean.
Let's see this podcast survive without me.
Sean's the one that's self-imposing voting out people.
I know. So mine, I'm gonna do another positive game that could have been real bad, and a lot of people were really worried about it, and it turned out to be one of the best in the series. And that is Tomb Raider 2013.
Banger game. No counter.
So good. A good coming of age in a way type of game, you could say. I don't know if you played it, Sean. Did you play the 2013 one? No.
No.
You call yourself a guy who likes Tomb Raider and you never played it? Disappointed.
No, I still need to play the original trilogy.
They just did a remake of them, a remaster of them. They look really good. Anyway, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 2013 one.
And you like it a lot because they have a lot of intense death animations that look insane.
Yes, so it's very visceral for sure.
Yeah.
Let me add that to my list. And sorry to cut you off, but which console should I play it on?
It should be on the. They did a re-release of it on the Xbox One where they made her hair better.
Oh yeah, I remember that whole thing. That's crazy.
Yeah, they added like more hair physics or something like that to her.
The stupidest thing you could complain about.
The other 2 I didn't play a whole lot of them, but this first one I played a lot. I learned the speedrun of this game too.
I didn't even know there was a speed run for this game. That's crazy.
It's wild. It's absolutely wild. There's a trick called Skywalker, and you literally can walk on the sky.
Okay.
But anyway, Tomb Raider. So it's about this girl, Lara Croft. She's going on vacation with some friends to this. They're just on a cruise, and like they get hit by a storm, and they end up on this island, and she's separated from everybody else. And then she gets kidnapped by like these locals, and she's not like the badass yet that we know and love from the original Tomb Raider games. She's a little younger. She's not done any of this before, really, or anything like that. She doesn't know how to like. She's never killed anybody. She's never killed like animals, anything like that. Nothing. So, it starts out with like stuff like that, where she's learning how to essentially survive. And then she slowly, as the game goes, it basically becomes a Metroidvania, one of my favorite genres of games, where you're collecting different gear on this island. You can go back to different spots, and now you can use that new gear to get to new areas, for other collectibles and whatnot. And it was the story's like writing for that game was phenomenal. It had some great set pieces, some really cool action sequences. There wasn't too many QTEs from what I remember. There was like a few.
It was not bad.
There was a few, but it wasn't that bad.
It was no Prince of Persia.
Most of the QTEs were just like in those like auto slidey sequences where you kind of like dodging things, and if you didn't dodge it, you die.
The QTEs were where QTE should be.
Yes.
Let's put it that way.
The puzzles were great. There's a good just sense of like fear and dread to certain moments in that game. Mm-hmm. And then it's just so cool to see this like woman who is like kind of frail and weak-ish become a very strong, independent survivor and start to become the legend that she becomes, later on in life.
And a crazed maniac killer.
Yeah, kind of. Kind of.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I made you and Nelson and I think Paul play that game.
I loved it, dude. It was so much fun. That was such a good game. So I'm a little confused though. So are you saying that game didn't perform well, or people don't like it?
Neither. It was it's the same idea as Doom, where before it was coming out, people weren't sure if it was gonna be good.
Oh,
It
okay,
also
okay.
came out a week or the same day as Skyrim, which is fucking ballsy as hell.
Yeah.
Because I remember playing Skyrim and having to beat that game, because if I didn't, I probably would have never gone back to it. So
Sure.
I beat that in like a week, and then I jumped over, or it came out a week later, I think, and then I jumped into Tomb Raider.
I think that's on
And
Game Pass as well. I'm trying to remember.
it might, it
One of
might
the Tomb
be,
Raiders on Game Pass.
it might be.
I pull up Game Pass right now.
They paid for I think the second and third one basically to be made. So
But they only made a second one, right?
no, they made a third. There's two.
They made a third one?
There's three of them. Yeah.
What the hell was the third one? I didn't even finish the second one. I couldn't do it.
The second one was the what, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then the third one was Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Oh, okay. I honestly had no idea there was a third one.
Yeah, people still use it for like benchmarking in their games because it had some crazy stuff for PC.
That's fair.
Yeah, I was playing the second one, but I couldn't get into it the same. It just
Same. That was the issue. I couldn't get into it. It just wasn't.
But apparently it's also phenomenal, and same with the third one. The third one's like apparently people love the third one.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Maybe I'll have to start fresh.
Yeah.
I think the issue with the second one was that I think it was too open at the beginning.
Yes, it was a lot more open ended.
Yeah.
There's a lot more.
Open world at the beginning.
Yeah, you gotta do the okay, I'm not going to try and look for everything. I'm just gonna play this game and try to enjoy it.
Do that. I can't.
That's the problem. Because then you start sitting there just hunting things and upgrading things for like 20 minutes.
And then I'm lost.
Yeah, then you get lost. And then you're like, cool.
And then I'm just in this pit, and I'm like, I don't think I can get out of this pit right now.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Ooh, I just heard a bunch of thunder.
All right, Sean. I didn't. It's you now, boy. Bring us home before you die.
All right. Yeah, last one. So you guys have heard me talk about this game. I was so pumped up for the Friday 13th game. Not the original, not the original for NES, but it turned out to be awful.
When Sean was a sperm, he was so excited for that game.
Kyle backed it.
I did. I backed it on Kickstarter.
He has the Savini skin.
Yep.
Tom Savini.
Wow. I spent so much extra money for a stupid skin for a game I played like 3 times.
And
Kyle, you sound like you don't like it. You're not excited or valued it.
No. Sean has like 1 million hours in this game.
Yeah, it's just a love-hate relationship.
Is the servers for that game dead yet?
It's still playable.
It's like in October it goes down for good.
And now that the rights to Friday 13th is somewhat settled, the rumor is they're either going to revamp that game or they're going to come out with another totally separate game.
No, that company blows. Every game they make is trash.
Yeah, Gun Media, or Elphonic Gun Media. But anyways, I was pumped with a coworker. I think I mentioned this story earlier in another podcast. But my coworker and I were pumped on day one, release day. We went home, could not get into a match. We're in an Xbox chat, and we're ready to play. And we're fine. We've waiting the whole shift at work to play, and it's like, wow, this is a joke. We can't even get into a server. We can't even get into a match because they rushed it. Could not get into a server because they were overpopulated and the game was shit.
It wasn't that they were overpopulated. Is the servers weren't on.
Yeah.
They weren't ready. The servers weren't ready for another like 6 months.
Yeah, servers were not ready, so
you could only do like local matchmakings.
Yeah, you had to do separate looking for what's that? The old Xbox.
Looking for groups, yeah.
Looking for groups, yeah. In the Xbox interface. But anyways, one thing I love about that game though is the maps mimicked the movies perfectly, like the different
That's
maps.
cool.
Yeah, so they did a great job with the actual layout and the all the graphics and exactly like the movies. And it was one of those games where you can have fun online. A lot of salty people online in that
Yeah,
game. Like I remember being up late and it's like everyone would just call you out and like talk shit.
the community's
Really, it's
toxic as
like
hell.
That's
everyone everyone
insane.
everyone who played that game was just so out to like there were no friendly people that there were some like you would come
No,
across people that were having fun, but like
no,
mostly
there was none. It was so
they
bad.
just bust your chops the whole time and start swearing at you and it's like really it's like it's a video game like what's your problem dude
Chill, dude.
like chill like everyone on that game it's like and then they just constantly just people were just so obnoxious like I would be up late playing it online and I don't know why I was just hooked on that game and it's like people are just calling me out for no reason like um hey Gordon I'm in the middle of something buddy but um anyways it was a fun game but yeah I agree with Kyle Gun Media was totally totally not gonna probably not gonna buy a game from them ever again because they came out with that Killer Clowns game the horror game they came out with Texas Chainsaw I have not played Texas Chainsaw game that's on Game Pass.
Yeah, I every time that a monster versus people game comes out now, I have to check to see who it is, and if it's them, I'm staying way far away from that game because none of them have been good so far. Um, but yeah, as to add to that, since like I kickstarted the game because I was excited for it. When it was like being talked about, they're like, they made it sound so great. They were talking about adding a single player mode to it, where you got to play as Jason, or you could pick as counselors, and instead of it being like just the way that it is with like the what is it 4 versus 1 or whatever,
Yeah,
the whole idea was is that you were just that single surviving counselor, or you were Jason hunting down those counselors that were controlled by an AI in certain set areas and whatnot. And none of that happened. None of that happened. And then the game came out. Servers were not ready. They weren't ready for another 6 months. And then, like, another 6 months later, the game was basically just dead because of all the legal issues that were going on with it.
so they pretty much came out with some maps then they stopped all support so they gradually just stopped supporting the game which is because of the legal issues but I mean come on like now it's just down to bare bones the game is still you can still join servers, but there's no
it's
dedicated
so
server.
unbalanced, though. That's
Yeah,
the other
there's no.
thing.
Oh, it's awful. And people would just find glitches. Um,
Jason is beyond OP,
yeah,
and it just
yeah,
makes it not fun to play as a counselor ever for me.
yeah. I gotta get going soon. I think my dog's nervous with the storm coming, but yeah, but yeah. Anyways, that game was a total letdown. It was
Mm-hmm.
one of those guilty pleasures, though. We all have those games where we were so hyped that it would finally came out. We still play it, but
Mhm.
exactly like Zach said earlier, get your money's worth, and you're gonna eat your dinner before you get your dessert. So you're gonna eat your food that was fed to you if you're hungry,
Mm-hmm.
and you spent money, your hard-earned money on it. But it was trash. It was trash.
Sean, it's
Um,
okay to not finish playing a bad game.
yeah.
No, you have to finish it. You have to finish
Uh,
it. You gotta finish your food.
um, it was just last thing I'll say. It was just amusing though, because when you die, it was like okay, I'm watching another episode of entry of the film series because you're watching the kill cams and it was okay for the it was just total trash. The mechanics, the gameplay, but the whole idea was cool. Like um, and I think they did a great job with the skins and the maps. So that's all. But everything else was trash.
The skins and the maps, yeah, but I don't know. The controls were bad. It was buggy as hell.
Yeah, but
Fucking
the game was
The amount of just like poor sportsmanship in
yeah.
that from
Oh,
players is insane.
that community was
Oh,
like I don't know what it was. Like they were
yeah.
just that whole community was just like, are you actual fans of the film series? No, they were like, they were just so like toxic and Very bad sports. Yeah, but hey, who cares? It's a video game. I would just half
Yeah,
the time
it's almost dead.
I would mute them, or I would just talk back. So I mean, I'm not. It's a video game. I'm not gonna get upset. Like there's so many trolls in that game, in that community.
Mm-hmm.
Like you're in a lobby talking shit about like, and you're not letting up. Like I've never played a game where I've run into that, like to a degree where this is a freaking game. Like what do you like? It was bad. It was bad. Like I was like, wow, okay, I have to mute these guys, or I have to like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
Just have
Yep.
fun. Just have fun and relax. Joke around, but don't bust people's balls. Like like, and they were like really bad. Like I don't know. A lot of them were. I just never played a game where how toxic. I've never seen it before online.
Yeah.
Usually I have fun online, but yeah. But I'll end it with that.
All right. Well, you wanna wrap it up for us? No, you started it.
Um,
Wrap it up.
yeah.
Finish your food.
Yeah. Eat your food. Um, yeah. So if you guys recommend any of your overrated or underrated games that turned out to be amazing, comment below, and we had a great time. And remember, we try to do these podcasts weekly. We're trying to um, we're doing pretty good with the schedule. So uh,
Praise us.
Yes.
yeah.
Counter argument.
Besides me being
No,
sick,
I'm dying.
yeah. Besides me being
Is
sick,
any of those games better than A Bug's Life?
I would argue yes.
Probably. But yeah.
yeah, we're consistent and yeah. Let us know what you guys.
This isn't a job interview, Sean. You're good. I would say some of my greatest strengths is that I'm consistent.
Yeah.
I'm really consistent.
No, Bugs Life. I was gonna say we're consistent about Bugs Life.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we are consistent about a bug.
Dude, we're gonna drive that joke into the ground.
Sean, you sent a picture of it on your screen. Did you rewatch it?
So I started rewatching it, and then my wife did not want to watch it, so I have to watch it on my own.
Damn, it's a shame you're getting divorced, Sean. That's crazy.
Because obviously this marriage is not better than A Bug's Life.
Yeah, it's not gonna work out. Yeah, just stronger than A Bug's Life.
I mean, he wanted to watch it. See?
Of course he did. He's got good taste, clearly.
Now, Zach, that's a boxer you would get along with. Look how calm he is.
He's very calm. He looks like a very sweet boy.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I always show him off in the.
Yep.
Yeah, he's almost a co-host at this point.
Yeah. Gordon, what's your games? Give us some.
He really was a fan of catch
Ball?
the ball, except
Frisbee was kind of a letdown.
Yeah.
You out there chasing bugs?
Oh, he was all about A Bug's Life.
We'll catch y'all next week.
Oh, catch, haha.
Yeah.
All right, later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.